And now, it's Boomer Life, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Hey, and welcome to the show. This is Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Zach Spencer. Today we're joined guests for PhilipsLifeline. Now we have many guests on today's show. It's going to be very interesting for you to listen to what is offered here and how it can affect your life or somebody in your life. Veronica Lynch is here from Delta. We have Reg Russell, who's an installer, who has some great stories to tell. And Jeanette Chouinard is our first guest talking about what Philips Lifeline Canada is. Now people might have seen these ads on TV, but you're going to tell us, give us a little more detail. What is it?
Okay. Well, first of all, we've been in the business since 1974, and we help over 7 million seniors and at-risk individuals feel safe in their homes. And we're the largest provider, and we've saved more lives than any other PERS provider. And it's an easy-to-use personal response service that lets you summon for help any time of the day or night, even if you can't speak. And all you have to do is press your personal help button that you can wear as on your wristband or a pendant around your neck. And a trained personal response associate will ensure you get help fast. Now, I've been with Philips Lifeline now for over 20 years, and it's just very rewarding to know that the number of seniors we help each day.
All right, Veronica, you must have people who have had it maybe now for a number of years, and they feel safe that they have this level of security?
Absolutely. It's one of the best services that we can provide for most of the citizens in Delta.
Yeah, and they say, I feel connected, that I don't have to maybe bother the children if anything was to happen, right?
It gives them that sense of independence and still being able to care for themselves, which is what I think helps them live longer. Okay.
Now, Jeanette, what does Philips Lifeline provide? Like, what are you actually offering people?
Okay, I think if you asked the common phrases that we hear amongst our seniors and their caregivers is that it offers peace of mind. And it removes the worrying if a subscriber and for their subscriber and their families. And especially for the senior that's living alone, they're able to manage a health condition. The families today, they have very busy lifestyles. And they all of a sudden they become a very active caregiver, and they can't always be there for their loved one. So for them, without the service, it allows the seniors to maintain their independence and confidence and feel secure in their own homes. And at the same time, it allows the caregivers to maintain their lifestyles, knowing that their loved one has access to help in a case of emergencies.
Now, I would suggest that there must be people who live farther away. Like I have a neighbor, and she's got her father who's 89 years old, but he's in Trail.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get to Trail in a hurry from Vancouver, but Philips Lifeline's there should anything ever happen, right?
We just had a lady come in and get a lifeline for her mother, and she's in Ontario, in Toronto, okay. And the mom lives in Delta. And she went away at least knowing now that her mother will get the care that she needs in an emergency. And as you say, you don't have to be right next door, but you get that peace of mind halfway across the country.
So what other levels of peace of mind do people feel?
Well,
you have independence, they have confidence.
Right. So basically, security, knowing that they're safe in their homes. If they have a problem, they can get help. And it's a very reliable system. They know that when they press a button that they can talk to a monitor 24 hours, 7 days a week.
And you have, as you mentioned, you have the bracelet style and you have the pendant style. Now, what style do most people prefer?
It really varies. I would say a lot of the men like the bracelet style, I find, and the women go for the pendant.
And they're stylish?
They're very stylish. They're designed so that they're comfortable to wear. They're waterproof so they can wear them in the showers.
Now that's an important thing because that's where a lot of falls can happen, right?
Exactly.
In the bathroom. Now, who are your customers? We heard about a mom and a daughter and being far away. Like, is there a typical customer, or do you have a growing sort of number of people that use this service?
Okay, so we have many customer groups, and the wearer is typically a female over the age of 80. And lives alone in their homes and manages one or two chronic conditions. And unfortunately, quite often people call to get our service after they've had a fall or a medical condition has occurred. And we've just come out with Go Safe. And that allows them to have the service, peace of mind and access to help when they're out and about in the community.
So the regular service is through the is it a cell service? How does it work?
The regular service is through the communicator in their home.
Right.
Okay.
So they have a base unit there, right?
That's
We're going to
they have
get
a
Reg
base
telling us how this works in a moment.
Yeah.
She's the installer.
We have a base unit in the home, and they can talk to the monitor through their communicator.
Right.
Where the Go Safe allows them to be out and about and get access to help. And that's because it has technology. It has 6 types of locating technology. It has two-way voice. It has the auto alert, which will detect a fall, and that's built into our standard too. And then it has Wi-Fi, it has assisted GPS and breadcrumbing, so you can locate the person. And
okay. So if they've wandered off, you can...
Well, if they have a fall or they push their button, right, then we can detect, where they're at. Now, if we can't find them, still, then they have a beacon in their pendant that the personal response associate can activate and pinpoint exactly where they're at.
Are you seeing more people going to the out-of-home service
Well,
as well?
we just introduced it last November, and yes, it's becoming extremely popular across Canada. And as I say, it's attracting a younger generation for us.
Why would that be?
Because a lot of them, people in their 50s and 60s have maybe MS, diabetes, Parkinson's disease. And, this allows them to give them the confidence to continue their lifestyle when they're out and about in the community.
Is there a difference in price there between the two services?
There is a difference in price. It varies on the service. The auto alert, obviously, because there's a SIM card and they're cellular, it will be more expensive. It's around $85.
Right. Well, that's...
But they don't... The nice thing about it with the wireless, they don't have to have a landline. They can...
And we're all getting rid of landlines
That's
now, right?
That's right. We have come up with wireless technology too. So
now, I just have a question. Like, how do they get powered? I mean, do you have to plug them in every once in a while, or change the batteries on either the bracelet or the pendant? Reg, would you know?
Well, sure, I could answer that. They have batteries in your base unit, which is like a speakerphone. There's a battery in there that will handle about 2 days, I think, without power.
No, I mean the actual...
And the actual button
bracelet
itself, they have batteries in them.
Okay.
And we come out, they're good for 2 to 4 years, I think.
Well, that long?
Yeah, well, the automatic one, I think, is about a year.
Really?
Because it's sensing all the time. It's on all the time.
Well, I'm always thinking I got to plug my phone in every half a day. So over a year, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would like that, not have to worry, like set it and forget it kind of thing, right?
With the Go Safe, it's a little different. It has a battery life charge of 7 days.
Yeah, which is still quite long.
Well, it's quite long if they say use it a couple of hours a day, but they can just go home and they don't have to take it off their neck. They can attach a magnetic cradle to it maybe while they're watching global TV.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and charge it.
Or driving television.
Or listening to their radio station.
That's it, exactly. So how many people are using this service around the world, or around North America? So you have Canada and the U.S., and so how many people? Is it quite a few people? You have some stats about this, right?
Yeah, I do have some stats. We have over 3 million people that have been using Lifeline since it's come out. But in Canada, we have about 100,000 subscribers, and what we do is I do have some stats on button pushes, which is quite important. In 2015, there was a 1.5 million button pushes, and those are individuals using our Lifeline service. But the majority were not emergency situations. We encourage our clients to push their button once a month to get comfortable talking to the response center team, so that in a real emergency, they have that comfort and will push their button to talk to them. You
don't want it to be a strange phenomenon, right?
No.
So what do you just say? Just say I'm just testing it and make sure everything's working?
Yeah, they just call in, they press their button, just say I'm testing it. Or, some people call in every day, like just to say good morning. They're alone and they'll press their button, and the staff know who they are.
Yeah.
And, our personal response associates are trained. So, they'll talk to them for a few minutes. So it could be the only person they talk to all day.
Now, what about the health care side of this? Are they glad that you have this system? Do they like the fact that their patients are connected like this?
Yeah, well, we have over 65,000 healthcare professionals that recommend our service across Canada. And
I guess if you can keep somebody in their home, it's taking pressure off the system too, right?
It totally is. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, the healthcare professionals, they do recommend the service to the client, especially when they're in hospital. And that's sometimes the only way that the clients find out about the service.
Right?
Even though we advertise it, they're not aware until they actually have a fall, go into hospital, and then it's a healthcare professional that quite often educate the family.
But people are vain, right? People are vain. I don't want to do that. That makes me old, right? But the thing is, it's like me with reading glasses. I'm not getting reading glasses yet.
Yeah.
But is it a big hurdle to jump for many families to get the elderly person to that point to say, I'm going to take this?
Well, I can let Veronica answer that, because she does run a program. Yes.
So what's the resistance?
The resistance is admitting that you need one.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing.
That's total human nature, right?
And it was hard for my sister and I to get my mother on board. And I just said, look, Mom, don't worry about yourself then. Worry about me. Because every time I phone you and I know you should be there
and you're not answering
your phone, I'm driving from Richmond to New Westminster to make sure you're okay. And do it for me. And parents are more likely to do it for their children than they'll do it for themselves, and especially a mother. And that's the way most of the moms can be approached if they're a little bit resistant, is to do it for their kids and give them that peace of mind they need.
Yeah, and it gives you a break, too, because looking after somebody who's older is a lot of work. Often visiting and taking meals and taking them shopping and taking them to appointments. That's one less stress that if anything were to happen while you're not there.
Yeah, and most of the moms, if they're in their 80s, the kids are in their 60s, and then they're not just looking after mom and dad.
No, you're not in your 60s. Come on now.
You're looking after the grandbabies and the grandchildren, and you're trying to do so much for so many.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Philips Lifeline, Canada's #1 medical alert service. We have some excellent guests here today to talk about the service and how you can integrate it into your life, a member of your family's life. We'll continue the conversation next. Boomer Life, right here on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.